Hello everybody, my name is Walter, and today I want to show you how I can build my simple inverted 3x3 Iris Piston Door. In case you're looking for the showcase or word download, you can find both linked in the description. But let's get started. So this build is a nice 9x9 at the front with the opening right in the middle of that. The door furthermore is just 3 blocks long, 5 blocks if you count the front and the back wall. Now to build this, you're going to need these resources here. So of course building blocks. Then 23 obsidian blocks, 3 slabs, 12 slime blocks, a single target block, 24 redstone dust, 4 torches, 12 repeaters, 10 observers, 4 normal pistons, 9 sticky pistons, 6 hoppers, and 2 levers, one of which will be in the input. And if you actually want to reach the input from the future floor, you might want to invest in a bit more redstone. And with all of that covered, let me show you how to build this door here. Now the first step is placing 8 sticky pistons as shown here. Please note that the sticky pistons that are in line are facing back to back and not front to front as you would have with the caterpillar door. Also, if you accidentally mirror this setup, you will also have to mirror everything from now on. Once you've done that, let's go to the bottom. And here we first need 3 slime blocks beginning from the middle towards the left. Then below the middle, we need an observer running into a slime block. Then diagonally down to the right, we need a lower block with redstone dust on top. A torch on the back. Then we will need a normal piston, and that can be a bit tricky to actually fit in. We need a normal piston, which will essentially trigger this sticky piston here. We will have to replace that in the correct position. Then let's place an obsidian block here, redstone dust on top, normal block here, and an obsidian block to this side. Then we need 2 lower blocks to the left with a 40 repeater, some wire, on top of the wire an observer, block on top, sorry, wire on top, and a block to the inside. And this block right here, this block will be our input, so I'll just place a lever here, and you should already see this first quarter here working as intended. Now for the second quarter, let's go to the right here. And first we need a lowered, then a raised, and then another lowered block. On the lowered blocks, place 40 repeaters. The second one gets observed from the back. That runs into a full block. Then we have a lowered and a raised block with wire on top of those. Then we need in front of the wire a full block. Make sure you don't accidentally place it in here. You might have to reposition this piston again. Then let's go to the front. Place a block on top of this repeater there. Wire on those 3 blocks. Running into full block with a torch on top. Top of the torch, we need a piston expanding forward. Then we need an observer looking at the piston arm, running into a slime block, and then another 2 slime blocks below that. Now grab your hoppers, place them on top of those 2 wires. Put wires on top. Then we also continue this trend with an upside down slab tower with 2 slabs like so. This will be the connection to the third quarter. And then, before we forget it, we actually need an obsidian block in front of this wire there. And that should be all for this half here. So you can see now the entire half here is working, which means now it's time for the third quarter. For this, let's go to this piston here at the back. And here first we need an observer diagonally up like so, running into a full block. Then in front of this observer, we need another one powering downwards into the piston. On top of that one, we need a 3-tick repeater, a full block here. Then we will need a hopper behind that, wire on top of those 2. Then a full block here with a 4-tick repeater on top. Run this into a full block with wire on top. Then cut off the wire here, as shown there. Then we will need an obsidian block here, so one higher, with another 4-tick repeater on top. This runs into some wire on top of another slab. Cut off the wire here with a full block. Then in front of this wire down there, we need an obsidian block like so, with a torch on top. Then in between here, we need a sticky piston with the target block into the face. Then place a lowered obsidian block here with another 4-tick repeater, which runs into another obsidian block, and then hovering below we have yet another one, wire on top of this one. A block to the side here. Then we will need our second lever. Place it just like so to relocate or redirect the wire. Then at the back there, we need a normal piston next to the wire and connecting to the obsidian block. Below the piston arm, we need an observer. And then we need our slime blocks, this time to the right of our build, like so, total of 3. And that should actually be all for this quarter. So let's activate the lever, and that's looking good. And now if we deactivate the lever, everything should flatten out again. Okay, so now it's time for the last quarter. For that, we need to go to the top left here. And first of all, we need an obsidian block next to this slime block and a normal block. Put down 2 2-tick repeaters. Then we have a raised block. Then we have a hopper lowered. On top of the hopper, we need a 1-tick repeater, which runs into another full block. Then to the side, we have another hopper, this time with wire on top, followed by a normal block with a 4-tick repeater on top. Observer looking at this, running into a full block. Then hovering below, we need an obsidian block with a redstone cross on top. Then we need to go back to this block here, the 1-tick repeater is running into. Go 2 blocks down with a normal block, wire on top. Then we need to go diagonally with another hopper, again wire on top, and running into an obsidian block. Then place a torch on the side of this block here. Now from this block, temporary block there, so we can go one step further down with a normal piston, which runs into or has a obsidian block to the face. Below that piston, we need an observer powering downwards, running into a full block. Then we have a lowered and then a raised block towards the back. 2-tick repeater in here. Then towards the side here, another block, 2 wire. Then that runs into a normal block. And finally, let's go and place an observer looking again at the piston arm here. And now we need our 3 slime blocks, starting in the middle, this time going up. And if we have built everything correct, the door should open completely once we flick the lever, which is looking good so far. And if we flick the lever a second time, everything flattens out, nothing got broken. So that's looking very, very good, which means the last part is actually filling in the missing parts of the edges here. So essentially, where we have slime blocks, we need the obsidian blocks, and the rest can be filled with normal blocks, as shown here. Same on the back. Essentially just a mirror image. And with that, the door is basically finished. All that's left is filling in a front and a back wall and potentially relocating the lever. And there we go. So with that said, one last thing to cover. When you're relocating the lever, make sure you're strongly powering this block where we had the lever beforehand, because we need to power this wire and also this wire at the back there. So either use a repeater from the front or a redstone torch from below. And with that covered, we have reached the end of this tutorial for my simple inverted 3x3 Iris Piston Door. I hope you enjoyed it, and well, see ya!